Hey everybody, I am Krista Demsher and I am so excited to kick it gold school with all of you this week. I love what we're doing this week and I love hearing tips that are really evergreen and fundamental for success in our business. So I'm really excited to be here and sharing with all of you what I feel like was kind of a big turning point for me in my own business. So first, a little backstory. Really all started with this guy. So this is the turquoise seed necklace that retailed for, I can't remember the exact price, but it was close to $199. And as you know, $199 buys you a business in a box. So I was looking at this necklace online, found Stella Dot randomly, loved it, and kind of got intrigued by what this was all about and realized that I could start a business for as much as it would cost me to buy this necklace, roughly. So I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And I thought about it for 9 months. At the time when I first discovered Stella Dot, I had a 2-year-old and a newborn. I was staying at home, minus some tutoring. I left a career in education and in counseling and was really a professional job searcher. Wanted a job but didn't want something that was going to take up too much of my time, and I wanted a job that would pay me well. Stella Dot seemed sort of like the thing that it might be it for me, but I was really turned off by direct sales and I just felt like this wasn't for me. So I thought about it for a really long time. And when I finally decided to jump in May 2010, I got my necklace, which I still have and will never part with. And I realized that maybe it wasn't for me after a few months because it wasn't easy. I thought this would be easy. I thought people would come to me and do trunk shows. I remember joking with a friend and saying, what am I supposed to do? Call somebody and say, do you want to have a trunk show? Like, that's really where my mind was at that time. So my business has been an evolution of my mindset and of my belief in myself. And I love that about my journey because there are certain moments in time that I feel like were turning points. And one of them was going to a boot camp with Danielle Redmer in February 2011. So if you remember, May 2010 is when I started. First boot camp and the first real training I went to was February 2011. That was a game changer for me because I kind of knew what I should be doing, but I lacked the confidence and the belief in that I needed to do it. I kind of just thought things would fall into my lap, and they weren't. My business was okay. I was having, a trunk show, sometimes 2 in a month. I mean, it wasn't a failure by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't what it could be. And when I went to that training, I was energized and I realized that I needed to put the work in to make this happen. So I really learned 3 things. And so I'm going to give you 3 top tips on how I kicked it gold school and I continue to kick it old school. These are 3 things that I did then, started doing after that February 2011 boot camp, and I still continue to do, and I attribute a lot of my success to them. And it's all about plugging in and connecting. So the first thing I did was I started paying attention to training. Now, can be a double-edged sword because you don't want to spend all your time watching training videos, but there is a lot of merit and a lot to be learned from hearing what other people are doing. So I went into our Stellaverse. At the time wasn't Stellaverse, but I went into our archives and I started listening to training calls. And you can do that too. We have a training call library that's there. And I challenged myself to listen to 1 a week. I didn't do it when I should be sitting down and calling people. I plugged in when I was driving to and from a trunk show, or when I was going for a run, or when I was doing the dishes. Sometime when I was doing something, but I could be listening to something, I started listening to training calls. I got some great tips, and then I put them into action. So my number 1 tip is to plug into training and be a self-learner and motivate yourself. Your upline is there for support, but she is not there to teach you everything. You're an independent business owner and that is your job. So that's my number 1 tip. My number 2 tip was what I kind of already do. Start going to trainings. Plugging into your local community is so vital and so important. We are in business for ourselves, but we are not in business by ourselves. The community of people is what is going to keep us going. So if you are sitting back on the sidelines and just kind of watching things happen, watching the team meetups happen, watching your team Facebook page kind of have energy and you're just not participating but watching, you're really missing out on an opportunity to connect. Connection is so important for us as women, for us as humans, and for us as business owners. We need that. There is so much support to be had. So my second tip is to plug in. Get to any training you can. Plug into your team page. When your upline or when your leader of that team page asks what your goal is, share it. Don't be afraid. Don't hold yourself back, because you're going to be more accountable to them. You're going to have more fun, and it's going to help you keep going, and it's going to help you have a support system when things start to get a little bit slow. And then my number 3 tip, and this is really, for me, the most important out of the 3, so the thing that's helped me the most, is to find yourself a pacing partner or a pacing group. It's so, so important. I, a few years in, decided that although I loved my team and I had some great friends on my team, I kind of needed to branch out of my team, and I needed to get to know some other people in the Stella and Dot community. So I started looking at names. Whose names do I see? Whose name is popping up that I look at her and I think, gosh, what is she doing? I'd like to get to know her better. Or maybe it was I having some of that negative self-talk thinking, God, why is she so successful and I'm not? We've all had it. So here's my challenge. If you have thought that about somebody, reach out to them. Say to them, hey, I see you doing some great things. It looks like you're having a really successful business. I'd love to connect with you and learn from you and work with you and pace with you if you have similar goals. I have reached out to so many people that way. In fact, the other leaders that are leading this Kickin' Gold School Challenge, that's how we've connected, because we just reached out to each other and we knew we were kind of maybe in a similar place in business. So that pacing group is so important. Finding somebody who has similar goals, that's in the similar place in your business, and especially somebody outside of your upline team. It's so important because you're going to learn more. You're going to learn from somebody else who's being trained from somebody else. There might be some new nuggets of wisdom there. And you're also going to have that fun support and excitement. And then when you go to a place like Hoopla, you're going to have these people that you look forward to. Some of my best friends are Stella and Dot sisters and friends that I've met over the years. And when I'm down, I can pick up the phone and call them. When I'm frustrated, I can pick up the phone and call them or Vox them or shoot them a message. They are there to help support me and lift me up. And it is so important to have that. If you want to grow your business, you truly, truly need a pacing partner or a pacing group to help you get there. So my challenge for you is to remember those 3 things. First of all, number 1, plugging into training calls, being a self-learner. Number 2, plugging into your team meetings, plugging into boot camps, making yourself a priority and getting yourself to any of those you can, because it's so important. And then most of all, number 3, finding yourself a pacing group or a pacing partner or a pacing trio. So I want you to comment under this video if you want a pacing buddy. I want you to comment, hashtag, sign me up for a pacing buddy. And your leaders and I will work together and help get some cross partnerships going across these teams to help you get to know some other people and to plug in to the supporting community, because it's truly so important in the longevity and the tenure of your business. So cannot wait to have an incredible fall with all of you. Kickin' Gold School, stick with the basics. They are what work. Don't get caught up in new fads, or even social media is not that important for your business. Kicking it old school, gold school, if you will, is what is going to get you 5-6 years in with an income you never could have dreamed of before and a big business behind you. So thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, and I am cheering all of you on. Bye.